Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are on episode 15.
15.
I believe. 15. That's a big accomplishment.
That is.
I like that.
I don't have enough here.
Two Dads Drink.
Yeah.
Welcome, Sean.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Nice to see you again. It's only been a couple hours.
Correct. I was here a little bit ago. Luckily enough, the power didn't go out.
Yeah, we're dealing with a crazy storm today.
Not
lightning.
just today. How many days have we had this in the last 2 weeks?
The lightning's been really bad today.
Did you see in the North Hills, somebody posted a video or a picture? You could just see the sky and it's ringing. Like, yeah.
Oh, Lord, it's like a tornado's coming.
Yep.
Well, I have no power at my house.
I do.
And that's causing some wonderful problems. Like, for instance, when you have your drink fridge in the garage and the only way into the garage is through the garage door opener, kind of a problem. We were really thirsty today. And none of the stores in town have power either. So, like, no water. I mean, unless you want to drink tap water.
I was going to say, it sounds like water.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what
tap
the water
is kind of nasty.
I was going to say, I don't know what the water like got there. So,
I mean, it's the same as here. It's public water, but
okay.
Yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. And, my wife's giving me shit for coming out and hanging out with you tonight where we have power and air conditioning and everything else.
But we do this every Monday.
We do this every Monday, which, by the way, if you didn't know, we changed to Monday. We announced that last week.
Monday Night Football. Oh, wait, no football yet.
That's coming. That's one of the big reasons why we wanted to move to Monday. Thanks, Eric, for that idea. What's our unofficial sponsor today, Sean?
It is one that we've talked about many times. We just never got to. Luckily enough, it's the honey version. But welcome to the show, Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey.
American honey. Luckily enough, you went with the small bottle, not the big bottle.
Yeah. So I have my only chest hair came from Wild Turkey, and I blame you for that. That was
how many years ago was
birthday.
That was what? Jeez, 13 years now?
Well, I'll be 34 next month.
So,
13 years
13
ago.
Years.
Yeah. All right, Wild Turkey. This is the honey version.
Cheers.
American honey. Cheers. Definitely more palatable than the regular Wild Turkey.
Yeah, it's got a good taste to it, the honey part of it.
Then again, I was a really big pansy back then when it came to my drinking, so maybe I could handle regular Wild Turkey now. I don't know. No,
Wild Turkey was still a hard one for me. Maybe I can too, but that was hard for most people I knew of. My
drinking was pretty much just, vodka tonics and light beer, like Bud Light, Miller Lite. Now I've come a long way to craft beers and getting into whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
Aren't we all?
Come on, you even have facial hair now.
I do have a little bit of facial hair, I finally decided to start growing it back in. My wife hates it when I shave, so I don't know why. I just felt like shaving all year.
I don't know.
But I decided to, after vacation, I was like, okay, I'm ready to bring the goatee back. That's all I can get is a goatee and a little bit of neck hair. But what are you going to do?
Maybe I go with the old style mustache again.
Yeah, you got to do the Hogan mustache again. That was a good look for you. Good look for you, buddy.
Hey, if we could top 100 followers, I may.
100 followers. Mm-hmm. That's a long ways to go, buddy.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. People will things into existence.
We are fight fans.
Yes.
And the rumor is now that Logan Paul wants to fight Mike Tyson. Your thoughts?
That's my thoughts.
You think it's funny?
Yes, because he barely was able to stay in the fight with Mayweather hitting him. Mayweather cannot hit nearly as hard as Tyson. If Tyson lands one of those throws, here's the difference. So Mayweather is faster and more agile, but if Tyson actually lands one of them, Paul's going to fall down real quick.
Well, Tyson, just at his style of fighting, he is going to come out swinging hard and fast.
Do you remember that Roy Jones fight we watched?
He was swinging that whole fight, man.
Was he?
He was.
Mm.
He's going to be, he'll be in shape and he'll come swinging fast. I will 100% waste $50 on that fight all day long. It'll be entertaining. I think it'll be more entertaining than the Mayweather fight.
Well, the Mayweather fight, you have to go into it realizing Mayweather is a defensive fighter, and that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, and that it's a show.
Right.
They staged that.
Tyson, I think he's one of those people who just don't like to lose. So yeah, he's gonna come in there trying to win no matter what.
They've literally caught multiple points in the fight where Paul was like trying to fall down and Mayweather was propping him up.
Yes.
So we know that fight was staged. I don't picture Tyson not trying to knock somebody out.
Correct. No, he's gonna try to hit him on the chin and
like you saw even in the Roy Jones fight that he was mad when they called it a draw. You know, like he bit his tongue, but he was mad when they called it a draw.
He was a little disappointed.
So Logan Paul, if you get in the ring with even a 60-year-old Tyson, you have way more cojones than I do.
Good luck.
Good luck, my friend. I hope they're paying you a lot of money.
If you make it past round 2, I'd be excited for yourself.
Yeah, so I bet on Logan Paul in the last fight.
I know.
Just because, there's a chance, right? A puncher's chance.
Right.
There's 0 chance I'm betting on him against Tyson. I will bet all my money on Tyson. And if I lose, then that's fine. I will lose on Tyson. Because, if we're taking the puncher's chance, I'm going with the real puncher. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with the guy who's known for punching.
No, the issue with Mayweather, why he's undefeated, is people can't touch him. That's the problem. They can't, those physical blows that they throw, they can't hit him. That's the problem.
Yep.
McGregor can hit you. Mayweather's too fast. Same with Paul. Paul is a bigger dude. That was your whole fight for Paul having that chance. You can't hit the guy the right way because he's too fast for it.
However, if you do hit him, it's going to be ugly.
The hard part is, how do we know that? Because he just hasn't had to deal with it.
It's true. But,
what is he, 55-0 or 56-0 now? Or what?
Well, you can't count that. That was
so he's still 55-0.
Yeah, he's like 54, 55-0 or something like that. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see Paul. And I think that's the future of boxing, are these like celebrity type fights, right? Because with the exception of Wilder Fury, there's really no good fighters right now.
Well, you could say what Mayweather literally said before his fight with Paul. They're events. They're not fights. They're events.
Yeah, they're entertainment events.
The opening fight was Chad Johnson.
Ocho
Cinco. And he literally doesn't want to be a boxer. He just wanted to check something off his checklist for his life.
Can you blame him?
No, I don't blame him. But I'm just saying, these aren't actual boxing cards anymore. These are events.
Yeah. And we had, in the Tyson fight, we had one of the opening fights was Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul.
Isn't that some sort of new league Tyson's trying to get involved with, which he's trying to make like a Legends League or something like that?
Yeah, he wants to make it so that the old fighters can come out of retirement and fight against each other, essentially. So it's just going to be a bunch of old dudes pounding on each other, which I'm cool with.
Wasn't he working on trying to have another fight with Vander Holyfield at this point?
I would love that. Don't get me wrong. I think Holyfield, if he comes in shape, would just tap Tyson out of commission.
Oh, yeah. And if memory serves me correct, Holyfield, the last I saw him in public, he looked to be in decent shape still.
Yeah, Holyfield just has his head on his shoulders when Tyson's a wild card, right? So Holyfield will know how to beat Tyson, and
Tyson may bite his ear off again.
He'll get Tyson to wear down, and then Holyfield will just tap him away, But,
until Tyson goes for the ear.
So, Paul, Tyson, please sign up for that fight. We want to see it, right?
Yeah.
We do. We want to see it.
I kind of would love to see Tyson's reaction when he'd seen that somebody mentioned that to him, that Paul wants to fight him.
Yep.
I would love to have seen his instantaneous reaction.
I'm sure he was just started salivating.
Right.
He's that type of person. He just started salivating. Just started drooling on the spot. He can't wait to take Logan's head off,
I have to tell you, just wondering how YouTube's going to react to the bad word that's in the screen there.
What, badass?
They can't really see that part, but
I mark our videos explicit, so
okay. Hey, I'm just saying.
Fuck it.
Not like they actually acknowledge us anyways, but
it's true. We have 5 followers or 11.
No, we're up to 13.
We're up to 13. Hey, we got 2 more. Round of applause. Let's have another round of applause. Carl Nassib, defensive end for the Raiders, is the first gay man to come out in the NFL. Long overdue. We had the one college rookie that went undrafted that tried, but he never made a team. I can't remember his name. Michael Sams? Was that what it was?
Can't remember.
He actually walked onto the Cowboys for a minute.
Here's my catch to that one, though. This guy actually can play. Carl
this guy is a beast.
He can play.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he can play. That guy, you bring it up after you don't get drafted.
No, he brought it up before. He would have been like a 4th-round draft pick, they said. But as soon as he came out, like teams, I guess, avoided draft.
See, that's BS.
That is BS, and that's why I think
That's BS.
this is a great step in the right direction. Thank you, Carl, for coming out.
Yes.
That hopefully will lead the way to other players coming out. It shouldn't be a big thing. I mean,
No.
I'm in a locker room almost every day of my life, and I'm sure there's gay guys in there. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not trying to check anybody out. They're normal human beings like anybody else.
We have friends that are gay.
Yes.
We have people around us that we know are gay. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Each way, whatever you want to be, that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay. To each their own. That's what's great. Actually, great about this world when people accept that.
Yeah.
If you want to be something, that's great. If somebody else wants to be over here, great.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the world we need to grow into.
Yep.
Just everybody getting along, and who cares what you are, or
Doesn't-
what you like, or what you don't like. It's just let's get past and move on. So thank you, Carl.
Yep.
We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming out.
Disclaimer from this show: just be a good person.
Yeah, that's all. That's what the world is. Just be nice to people.
Be
Be
good.
respectful.
Be caring about each other.
Speaking of not respectful,
Oh, geez.
Tom Brady had an interview that was recorded and went viral because he said a team who he will not name passed on him, and his response was, "You're sticking with that motherfucker at quarterback?"
It's your team, isn't it?
I don't know. I was trying to think of who it could have possibly been. I don't think it's mine. I think Dak is a solid quarterback, right?
A year ago, before last season, when you realized what you lost.
I'm thinking that it's like the 49ers. Who would you think? That I mean, it would have had to
Well,
be.
I could see that because he doesn't necessarily always like Jimmy G.
Right.
So I can see
I
that.
can
see that.
And clearly Jimmy G is not a great quarterback.
Obviously, they traded up to the 3rd overall pick and took Trey Lance.
Right.
So
I can see the 49ers. I can see maybe the Broncos. There's a handful of teams that
Can you see that? If you just said the Broncos. If you would have went to the Broncos, so they would have traded for Peyton Manning, and then they would have made a move to bring in Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was successful. They won a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah.
Think about those weapons actually in Denver.
They got a lot of weapons.
Oh, I know that they have around Drew Lock, which didn't work out.
And Drew Lock's not very good, so why would they? So it's got to be something like that. A loaded team with an average, maybe like Tennessee. I could see Tennessee being the team.
But
You're sticking with Tannehill over me.
I guess I could have saw that last offseason, but then Tannehill went and had a great year again this year.
The Dolphins.
Tua
in the division. You're
Tua.
sticking with Ryan Fitzpatrick over me.
Tua.
Tua could have learned behind Brady for a year.
Tank for Tua.
So yeah, I'm intrigued to know who the team was, but
that won't be known.
I mean, the fact that Tom Brady has the balls to come out and say, like, I told them this is my response, like, you're sticking with that motherfucker. That's pretty impressive that he has that kind of balls. But I guess when you win now 7 Super Bowls.
Well, here's the deal, and I've noticed this since he's left New England, and he's actually grown a voice on him. Man, that guy actually really does have a lot to say. Whatever Belichick had on him in New England, that made him just be quiet and just go with the flow or whatever he was doing there. Man, him in Tampa, different guy. Look at him on a boat drinking with the Super Bowl trophy, throwing it from one boat to the other in the bay.
Tom Brady seems like a totally different person. He seems like he's a blast, and I would love to play around.
He looks like he's enjoying himself finally.
Right. You have to wonder, like, what kind of dirt did Belichick have on him? That,
right.
Like, I'm gonna ruin your marriage if you don't do what I say or something.
They finally got out of there, and he's like, I got some stuff on you, Belichick, so don't even bring that stuff up. I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I mean,
good luck with Cam Newton.
If you are that team that passed on Tom Brady, are you kicking yourself right now?
The fact that he brought it up, yes, probably.
I mean, it could have been the Cowboys. It's definitely not. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
But here's the catch. What I would say to that is how many of those teams had the weapons that Tampa did walking in? Don't get me wrong. Yes, they brought in a lot of guys like Gronk. They brought in Fournette, but they already had Ronald Jones. They already had Godwin. They already had Evans. They already had O.J. Howard. They already had Brady. Think of all the weapons they already had prior.
I mean, we can quickly run through this. I mean, the NFC East, the Cowboys are the only team with the amount of weapons that he would have required.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the Eagles don't have weapons. The Giants don't really have weapons. And they have no offensive line.
Well, the only teams I remember out of the NFC that I even remember being brought up as possible suitors for Brady was Tampa Bay and Dallas.
So I think the NFC East is probably out. NFC North, Green Bay is not going to move on from Aaron Rodgers, right? So the Lions, not really.
He's not going to go to Detroit.
He's not going to go to Detroit.
He's not going to Detroit.
They didn't have enough of a team around him. The Bears, maybe.
He's not going to Chicago. They didn't have enough weapons. Allen Robinson was the only thing they had in that.
They had a hell of a defense, though, and they had a good offensive line.
Yeah, but he wants weapons. That's the problem in New England.
Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. You're sticking with that asshole, that motherfucker? You know, I can see that.
I can see that working.
I can see that being a decent one. And it's a dome. He probably would have loved to play in a dome, right?
The only question I have is, this is before we knew what Justin Jefferson was last year from the draft. Yeah. They didn't really have many weapons. So I guess they had Thielen, which kind of fits him actually perfectly.
Well, they had Thielen and Diggs prior to, because Diggs was traded after Brady was signed. And then they drafted Jefferson, which is, I mean, he's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So then you go into NFC South, and you got the Saints. He would have never said that about Drew Brees. You got the Buccaneers, who he went to. You got the Panthers. They don't have enough weapons.
Yeah, how would they have done? How would they have brought? Well, actually, I think the Panthers had weapons for them.
The Falcons.
Falcons
would have been Matt Ryan over Tom Brady.
Yeah, but you can't even say that because the reason why the Falcons. I'm not a GM. I don't know this to be fact, but the reason why the Falcons still have Ryan right now is they can't unload that contract. That's why they moved on from Julio.
Yeah.
And not Matt Ryan. Nobody's taking on Matt Ryan's contract versus Julio's contract.
In the West, you got the Cardinals and Seahawks aren't moving on from their quarterbacks. They're both young and athletic, and there's no way, right?
Right.
Then you got the 49ers, I think, is a huge possibility.
Yeah. The 49ers would have been a perfect fit. But I say that about what? They talked about
how about
Stafford?
The Rams? The Rams could have been it. You're sticking with Goff over me?
Yeah.
Really, McVay? That's it? That's how you want to do this?
Yeah, but once
I just beat you in the Super Bowl, and you're sticking with Goff over me?
But let's take a second. That goes back to the contract. They just gave Goff that big contract, which is why they had to give the Detroit Lions how many first-round picks to take it over for Stafford?
They could have maybe cut him or traded him back then, though. So
no, he still had that contract. You cut him, you're still paying him.
Yeah. Okay, so we go into AFC East. How about Buffalo?
That would have been nice at that point.
I mean, I was still giving my buddy Dave, who joined our show, I was giving him shit about his quarterback being average at best.
Right.
You know, now obviously he took that next level. He's pretty awesome.
Right.
But at that time, just similar to Dak.
You had to question it.
Yeah, at that time, similar to Dak Prescott, you probably questioned it, right? So Buffalo could have been one.
I don't think it's Buffalo just purely because I don't think Brady would have even considered going to Buffalo.
I think he would have. It would have been a big fuck you to Bill Belichick.
I get where you're going with that, but I think he would have went to the Jets before he went to Buffalo.
But the Jets had no weapons.
I get that, but I think he would much rather.
I think he would have went to Miami.
Well, that's definitely one too, but I think he would have played in New York before he would have played in
your division, Buffalo. The Ravens.
Not over Jackson. Jackson just had the MVP.
Jackson on a rookie contract.
He just won the MVP. Yeah.
They could have afforded both of them. Jackson could have learned behind Brady for a year or two.
They weren't going to sit him. He just won the MVP. He literally just won the MVP. They weren't going to move him.
Well, he's not. Maybe the Browns. The Browns had a crap load of weapons in Baker Mayfield.
That would have definitely been one I could have seen because Mayfield had a kind of – wasn't it a throwaway season where he kind of was the issue?
Yeah.
He had a bad season.
And even last year, he wasn't great. I mean, he
was better,
he was
but
mediocre. He was good enough to get his team into the playoffs.
Right. I can see that one. I can see that one.
The South, Phil Rivers in the Colts.
I can see the Colts. Colts would be a nice
I can see the Colts. I can see the Jaguars. Nah, they don't have enough weapons.
Yeah, the Jags didn't.
I can see the Titans. They just had that big run. They beat Brady in the playoffs the year before.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think who we got. The Colts, the Jags.
Yeah, but you say that, but that was the year
the one team I'm missing.
When he gave Tannehill. Actually, maybe it was.
Texans.
What's that?
Texans. They're not going to move.
Not from Deshaun Watson. Even though he's not going to play for them now.
Ooh, the Raiders.
That would have been a fit. And actually,
You're
I think they were
sticking
brought
with-
up.
You sticking with Derek Carr over
That
me?
may be it right there.
That could be it.
Because that was a conversation. I remember he was the guy who they had talked about it.
So I think we really have it narrowed down to a handful of teams.
I'm really digging the Raiders
I
idea.
think it would have been the Raiders, the Bills,
Yeah.
the Cowboys, or the 49ers.
I think the Chargers had to be in there because they were a high-end team looking
But I
at
think
him.
the Chargers were trying to get him, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason.
Maybe that's the case because I know they brought in
They
Herbert
brought in
after.
Tyrod Taylor that year. didn't
No, they brought him in the year before, but they were giving him the starting
Oh.
spot.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we have about 4 or 5 teams narrowed down to, and one of those teams has to be kicking
I
themselves.
think so. I think it's the Raiders, to be honest with you.
Oh, could you imagine that team with Tom Brady on there?
They have decent weapons. They don't know what
They
they
have a good defense. They have an okay offensive line. They got a hell of a running back, and then they have that tight end Waller. He's a beast.
I remember that was brought up because remember they moved into their new stadium, that massive stadium out there in Vegas last year. That was the talk because, what better to do when you move in? Bring the greatest quarterback of all time.
I think realistically, it was either the Raiders or the 49ers.
I think it's the Raiders. I don't even think it's the 49ers at this point. Or we talked
Well, the
about
49ers, this the attitude he had about it. I could see him saying that about Jimmy G. You're really sticking with that motherfucker? Like,
Yeah, but at that point, he just came off a Super Bowl run. He didn't win, but he just came to a Super Bowl.
2 years removed, right?
No, he's only 1 year. Last year, he didn't make it. The year before, he did.
Oh, okay. Who did he play in the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Oh,
Patrick
yeah, the
Mahomes won.
Chiefs beat Brady.
The Chiefs lost to Brady and the Bucks. The Chiefs beat.
No. That was the year before because
The-
the
They beat Patriots Brady.
no. Brady, his last year in New England, he lost to Tennessee in the wild card. That was
Okay,
his
well,
last year.
nonetheless, he won last year. It was Brady versus the Chiefs,
The
obviously.
Chiefs. The
The
year
year
before,
prior, which
it
is what
was-
the Chiefs won, it was the Chiefs versus the 49ers.
Who'd the Chiefs beat to get in there?
Good question.
trying to think.
What is that, 2019?
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my years mixed up, but I thought the last year Brady in New England was when he got knocked out by the Titans in the wild card.
No, you're right. And it may just been the Chiefs beat the Titans.
Oh, they did beat the Titans. The Titans were up by like 3 touchdowns or something. The Chiefs came back. So yeah, you're right. That was the year because the Titans beat the Patriots, then they beat the Ravens, then they almost beat the Chiefs.
All right, so you guys can't see this, but yeah, there you go. Tennessee beat New England. Tennessee beat Baltimore. Tennessee lost to KC.
So you're right. Jimmy G was 1 year removed from the Super Bowl. So,
Yes.
I guess you can't move on from Jimmy G after going to the Super Bowl, right?
He went to the Super Bowl.
But could Tom Brady be arrogant enough to be like, "You're sticking with that motherfucker"? I still think
it's
possible.
Derek Carr and the Raiders.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, I
That's
think you're probably right. It's probably that.
that seems like too much of a fit. That's honestly Derek. As much as we fantasize about Derek Carr being back to old Derek Carr, it's now like 6 years removed from that.
Yeah, he's never been the same ever since
Never.
getting hurt.
So sorry, it just isn't good. He was actually, and if you look at the numbers, Derek Carr was good last year. Based off
He was productive.
just based off numbers, he was good last year.
But I will also make the argument that maybe that team's really good because Derek Carr's backup, who is the dude from Tennessee,
Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, he came in and rocked it when Derek Carr went out with an injury that one game. He was awesome.
He also was a first round pick. What was he in the top 10, I think?
I'm just saying, so maybe Derek Carr wasn't that great. It was just his team's gotten a lot better around him.
Maybe.
So,
Oh, he does have one. You already said a good running game. They drafted a receiver in the first round. What was his name? Ruggs?
ooh,
Henry Ruggs, the
Henry
speedster.
Ruggs. Yeah, they're always drafting speed in Oakland.
However, I know their star receiver last year was Nelson Aguilar, and he just went to New England this offseason.
I mean, their star receiver is Waller.
Oh, yeah.
The
yeah.
dude's a beast.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is down
Bitcoin.
50% over its high 2 months ago.
How much did you buy?
I bought like $500 of it.
So you got like a 1.1% of a coin?
Yeah, it was essentially it was 1% of a
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 1% for $500. and that added to my already, because I've been buying it every time it dips down, basically. Just throwing a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
Because I do think it'll eventually rebound.
Well, probably.
And Bitcoin, the one thing it's got that a lot of other altcoins don't have. Number one, it's the most popular. Number two, it will eventually run out of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So there won't be any more. So there's going to be a demand for it at some point. So I'm pretty confident, even if I have to hold it for a couple of years, having 10% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. But is now the time to buy Bitcoin, or do you see it going down even more? Some experts say it could go down even another 25%.
It may
before it rebounds.
The way this economy has been working with the stocks, I think it is going to keep dropping for a little bit. But I agree with you that it's going to rebound and it's going to go. But I think that's the way the economy is going to work here. Is in the next year or so we're going to have a drop.
The thing that I'm intrigued about when it comes to cryptocurrency is they say it's decentralized. However, I'm starting to believe that is not the case, because when Bitcoin goes down, almost all of them go down, right? And when Bitcoin goes up, almost all of them go up, right?
Who do we blame for this?
So is that really decentralized, or is all crypto off of the Bitcoin standard?
Probably off the Bitcoin standard.
Yeah. So I think that, there's too much money in crypto right now for it to fail.
Right.
So I think that it will 100% rebound. Not that I'm a financial expert at all. However, I do, pay attention to a lot, and I invest in a lot, as do you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that now would be a great time to buy Bitcoin. Definitely, I'm acting as I speak as well. So I'm actively buying Bitcoin. And I really hope that some of these, there's no reason why you can't buy stuff on Amazon with Bitcoin. These companies need to start letting you use Bitcoin, because once that happens, Bitcoin becomes immensely.
Well, did you see the offensive lineman in the NFL? He wants to get paid in Bitcoin. Okafor, I think it is.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a comment that the Steelers were looking at him, which makes sense. The Steelers need tackles. Good offensive tackle. And he said the Steelers can't afford me with how much Bitcoin I want. That was his response.
Interesting. I have, as you know, I've kicked myself over the years for not investing in Bitcoin soon enough, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to take these opportunities to buy up, because I do think it's going to go. Hopefully, at some point, I'll actually have one full Bitcoin. That'd be nice. When at one point I could have bought a Bitcoin for about $15.
Right.
In my life.
Oh, yeah. And then at some point it would have reached that 55,000 mark.
Yeah. Which is now why I invest in shady crypto, just a little bit of money. Which, by the way, a new one, Baby Doge, is out.
Baby Doge
is out, and I've like 10x my money on Baby Doge in the last week.
Baby
Doge, buddy. I think I put $5 into it, and it's already up over $50. So
Doge to the moon.
Yeah. Baby Doge to the moon. So, but yeah, so I definitely think if you're interested in Bitcoin, now would be a good time to buy. Not that it won't go down more, but I think eventually it will go up. Eli Manning is back, my friend.
Your friend. He's your friend.
No. You're my friend. Eli can go fuck himself. Okay? Eli is one of the people I hate the most. Like, my wife and I have talked about it. We talked about, like, if the Purge movie ever happened in real life, there's two people in my life that I would purge 100%, and Eli Manning is one of those people.
Would you like to speak about the other person, or leave that anonymous?
Do we have enough time is the question.
Oh, geez.
It's a build-up. I will talk about it if you want me to talk about it. I think we have enough time. We got time.
We got time.
So Eli Manning.
What are we talking about? We make up the time.
They both live in New York City. Eli Manning is one of them. The other one has nothing to do with sports. It's somebody who has wasted countless hours of my life and countless dollars out of my bank account for his endless, worthless piece of crap movies he's created.
I know where you're going with this.
M. Night Shyamalan is the other person I would 100% purge. I would at least want him, if I got to him and I was about to purge him, which basically is murder, right? That's probably not a good thing to talk about.
I was going to say, you know where we're going with this conversation?
The only way that he could get out of that is by giving me like a a 100x return on my investment, which I added it up one time.
This is true. I remember this conversation.
No, it's 100% true. Between the amount of hours I've spent watching his movies, which only one of them have I ever liked, and that was The Sixth Sense. It was a great movie. I will give him credit for The Sixth Sense. It was a great movie. But ever since then, it's been crap after crap after crap, build up as, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. And then you get there and you're like, what the heck is this? The worst one out of all of them, I will never forget this. They built it up as the scariest movie
The Village
ever. Yes, The Village.
The Village.
And, my wife and I like scary movies. My wife more than I do, but I enjoy them. I'm so excited for this movie. And I'm like, finally, he's going to put out something good, And by the commercials, it looked so scary, right? Mm. And then you get there. I think it had maybe 2 jump scares in the whole movie. And then you find out at the end of the movie that, like, it's all phony.
Right, yeah.
It was, like, literally the biggest disappointment ever. Like, I would put it up there with Napoleon Dynamite as like something that was built up so much and ended up being the worthless turd that it was. So, because I've watched almost all of his movies because they're always built up. So I did add it up. I did add it up one time about the amount of hours, how much that I am worth per hour, right? Because we're all worth our hourly wage, in my opinion, right? And that's one of the ways that I determine whether I'm going to do something like cut the grass or if I'm going to hire somebody to cut the grass is based on, is it worth my time on investment, right? And that's how anybody who invests should think about their time, right? Because time is money. So my dollar per hour times how many hours I've watched it, times movie ticket prices, times popcorn, times soda, times inflation, right? Like, this dude owes me an immense amount of money. Okay, and then I want like 100x on that because he has it and he can just give it to me and it'd be nice. Like, M. Night Shyamalan should be banned from making movies. Banned.
So far this has been a 3-minute part to this show.
What's your response to that?
I don't got one.
You don't have a response to that?
I don't.
You're not going to take the other side and say that he makes good movies or anything like that? Because we always, that's the one thing about our friendship is we rarely ever agree.
I honestly don't care for a majority of his movies, so.
See, so I'm not the only one and we rarely agree on stuff, right? He's a waste of time. And I almost got suckered into watching that one where there's like superheroes and they're locked up or whatever. Like, we watched the commercial on it. It was with.
I don't remember that, but I can't remember what it is.
I can't remember what it's called either, but it had who did it have in it? Shaft. Who's that guy? The guy who plays Shaft.
Isn't
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, but I'm thinking there's 2 versions. There's an older version too.
But Samuel L. Jackson was in it, and a couple other people. It looked really cool, but I was just like, no, I'm not getting suckered into.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, that did look good actually. Glass mirror or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Mirror. I refuse to get suckered into another M. Night Shyamalan movie. I will never watch another one.
He'll see you in a week.
He can go straight fuck himself.
He already signed your gotcha contract.
I'm just saying. M. Night Shyamalan. So Eli Manning and M. Night Shyamalan are on my purge list if the purge ever became. And of course, this is all extreme hypothetical, and nor do I have a bone in my body that could ever hurt a human being. However, if I did have a bone in my body that could hurt a human being, those would be on my purge list.
Disclaimer at the top of the screen: none of this is real. This is all fiction.
Yeah, it's all fiction. Purge movie is fiction too.
We will not kill anybody.
Yeah, we're not murderers. We're nice people.
We do watch horror movies. But
we do watch horror movies, and the Purge movies are pretty cool.
They are. I like they're interesting.
Movies.
Our forefathers.
Who would be on your Purge list?
I don't have one.
Oh, come on! You have to have somebody.
I legit don't think that way. So that's no, I don't. You should know me better by now and realize that about me.
Oh. Yeah, that's you being too nice. You definitely have
I don't. I really don't. I don't have that. What's that? Sorry.
Killing me, Smalls.
It is what it is.
So I'm the only one here with a purge list. I just, whatever. I'll own it. It's cool. M. Night, I'm coming for it. No, I'm not.
He did not say that.
Just stop making movies, bro. You suck at it. Like, it's cool. You made a lot of money. You suckering fools like me out of my hard-earned money, right? Just stop. Okay, I'm off of that. Kids Corner. We are on the Kids Corner. Something way more friendly than purging M. Night Shyamalan.
Are you sure about that?
Oh boy, you have an interesting story.
No, I don't. Actually, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay, so I actually do have one this week. I had a lot of micro ones last week, right? So my son, he's that type of kid who he just doesn't want you to know that he enjoys something, right? So, my wife is going crazy with the kids at home during the summer. So we signed him up for summer camp, as I think your son, Grayson, got signed up for summer camp. And I think they're going to the same one. They're just going to different ones.
Different locations.
Different locations. Snapology. And so, we're like, oh, the kids should be excited about this. It'll be fun. So we announced to them that, hey, you're Monday, you're going to summer camp for a week. Olivia is super happy. Oh, great. Right. I get to go make new friends. And Roman's like, oh, man, I don't want to go to summer camp. And I'm like, dude, you're going to have fun. Like, oh, no, I'm not. I want to stay home. So then here's me. And I'm like, I'm going to use reverse psychology, right?
Right.
I was like, okay, dude, don't worry about it. Olivia will be the only person that goes and has fun. Yes. And he runs away and goes up in his room. And I was like, crap. Totally bit me in the ass trying to use reverse psychology. So then you fast forward to even today, because we had to tell him, like, dude, you're still going. We paid for it already. You're going to summer camp. Mommy needs a break. You're going to summer camp. So fast forward to today. My wife posted a picture of him leaving for summer camp, and he was super depressed. And he wants to sit on his ass and play video games all summer, right? He's been crushing Pokemon Snap. So my wife was into it last week. This week, my kids are finally into it. Pokemon Snap has been on my TV 24/7, except for today because we have no power. So he just wants to sit at home and play video games. So my wife takes him. He's all upset. He doesn't want to go. He goes, and he had fun. Right? A kid at summer camp.
Grayson went to it today. So
and Grayson said it was the most fun summer camp ever.
Yes.
And it's the same thing, just different locations.
Right.
So he had fun. And there's other kids his age. He got to hang out. I pick him up, and he's just like, no, it wasn't fun. No, I didn't make any friends. And he's just sitting in the back. He just sitting in the back looking out the window all miserable or whatever. You little butthead. I know you had fun. I know you had fun. That's my son. That's my son in a nutshell. My daughter had a blast. She met 2 11-year-olds and an 8-year-old that are all her friends now.
And they go Wednesday, right?
No, they're going all week.
They're doing all week. Grayson's doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
No, we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week.
You need a week vacation.
I mean, yeah.
School's off, so you had to go to another school.
Dude, my wife is not hacking it right now. So she needed a break. She deserves a break. She needs a vacation too, right? Summer vacation. So I'm glad to be able to be fortunate enough to give her a week of reprieve.
It's nice.
Yeah.
My wife found out today that this summer camp would accept 2-year-olds. She's like, man, we didn't know this before for Ollie.
Really? Even with diaper changes and stuff?
Said 2+.
Wow.
2+.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we're sitting there like, wow, we didn't know that. What do you want to sign Ollie up right now?
Yeah, sign him up for next week or whatever.
Bye, Ollie.
Bye, Ollie. Go have fun. It's not about you, buddy.
Have a full day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nonetheless, so I'm going to go back to Father's Day, actually.
Okay.
And so out at Heartwood Acres, which is out in the north, it's a big park. You've been there for those music events they have.
Yes, I almost lost my son tragically.
This is where we're going with this a little bit.
Oh.
No. So a few years ago, Ian almost lost his son that day. Roman, the kid we were just talking about.
Well, we have to kind of tell the story then.
Go ahead.
It's not like we're horrible parents or anything, right?
No.
So we had our setup, and then we had, what were we playing? Bag toss or something. We were doing cornhole, whatever you want to call it. And Roman was over by me, and we're playing cornhole or whatever. And then he's like, I'm going to go back over to mommy. And we're maybe 10, 15 feet from the area where the parents are hanging out. Right. And so I'm like, okay. And I kind of watch them walk in that direction. And then next thing you know, not even 5 minutes later, my wife's like, where's Roman? And I was like, what do you mean? He went over to you, And literally, he was just lollygagging through. Mm-hmm. You're the one who found him. You're the one who actually found him. And of course, this is what makes me feel like a horrible father, right? my first thought isn't I lost my son, right? Which should have been my first thought. My first thought was, if we don't find my son, my wife is going to never let me live this down for the rest of my life. It's all my fault, right?
Would you expect her to let you leave?
I don't know. Like, that's my first thought. It's like, I need to find this little butthead for running away, because otherwise it's my fault, because he was last seen with me.
Well, you're welcome. I found him.
You found him.
He was just wandering.
He was just wandering around.
Just wandering. Don't get me wrong. He was afraid when I found him. He's like, you can see in his face. He's like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, and then I yelled at him. And then
that didn't help any bit. He was already, oh shit, where did everybody go?
Yeah, he probably didn't even realize. He was probably just like chilling and walking around. But my wife was like this close to like shutting the whole festival down. Like she was about to go up on stage and be like, "Listen, motherfuckers!" I was like, "Calm down. We will find him." Like I'm trying to keep her away from doing that, right? But yeah. So, anyways, I almost lost my son. Your story.
My story is Ollie. So Ollie loves his dancing.
Yeah,
we're at a music event.
Yeah,
Ollie's in front of us, about 15 feet. Grayson is too. They met other kids. They're all running in circles playing. Ollie just randomly goes by himself and starts dancing. All of a sudden, you see Ollie start to creep forward. And me and Sam took turns chasing him, basically. We started to realize as the time goes by, he doesn't give a damn. He is not looking back. He is literally just going and not looking back at all. We're like, man, he's not afraid. He's just, if we weren't following him, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's your Roman.
He does not care. That kid would just go.
He's not scared of anything.
Nope.
I've seen that kid.
Nope.
He's fearless.
Nope. He would have went. We didn't get to the point you guys did where we didn't know where he was, but he would have went for it.
Roman was a little bit older than Grayson, so fact that Ollie. He's a little bit older at the time. I think he was 4, right? So I was pretty confident that he could walk 10 feet to his mama, right? And I did watch him walk in that direction.
He did walk to her. He just walked past her.
Yeah, he just kept going. He just went for a stroll. But yeah, that was probably one of the most stressful moments of my life. It only lasted like 5 minutes, but it was very stressful.
We really don't know if it only lasted 5 minutes, but
we
only lasted 5 minutes from when we acknowledged it.
Yeah, when we acknowledged that he's missing, it lasted 5 minutes. It probably lasted like 10, 15 minutes, if I had to guess.
I was going to say, we really don't know how long in his mind, that was.
Yeah. So, folks, don't lose your kids at festivals.
No, don't.
And don't expect that a 4-year-old just going to automatically walk to his parent.
And don't expect your 2-year-old's going to care that you're following them or not following them.
Absolutely. Be safe out there at these summer events, which, by the way, we have events back.
I know, right?
It feels like normal.
Without masks.
It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to start having normal.
I can walk into a store without putting a mask on.
And actually, I thought that our state of all states was going to be a little bit more conservative with the mask policies and the vaccine policies and stuff. But then they signed into law that you cannot force somebody to get a vaccine, and you cannot refuse their entry into something because they don't have a vaccine.
Yeah, so you just have to force them to wear a mask, but a lot of the places aren't even doing that. They're not.
Yeah.
They're going by the trust rule of, well, we trust you.
You kind of have to, right? What's the other option? We're all going to wear our vaccine cards around.
Wait until you go to a restaurant that has an issue, and then they make people do that.
Well, that's the thing. Little mom and pop shops have their right to say you need to wear a mask, or we're going to check your vaccine cards, or just say everybody needs to still wear a mask. And I would totally respect that, right?
If people want to wear a mask,
it's your establishment.
I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me to wear a mask.
I'm fully vaccinated. I'll be honest with you, I'll probably wear my mask in the winter again.
Oh, it was nice keeping your face warm.
Oh, I'll probably put that face shield right over my head during the winter. All right, let's go.
Wild Turkey American Honey is our unofficial sponsor.
Woo!
Wild Turkey, if you want to send us some free booze, please do.
There's a little bit of a cough syrup taste to that.
There is. I think that's all flavored whiskey so far.
I think so.
They'll have kind of they're almost too sweet. I will say the one that I've enjoyed the most out of the flavored ones was the Jack Daniels at your house. Which one was it?
Cider or the Tennessee honey?
Tennessee honey. That one was probably the best out of the flavored whiskey.
Well, I don't think that's a syrup. That's why. That one, I think they brew it, or when they make it in a honey flavor.
Remember when we went to and they're probably still doing this, I would guess. We went to Hofbräu House, and they had flavored beers. Yeah. And all it was is they were squirting syrup into the beers, and I was like, oh, that's not like I was like, oh, I want to try flavored beer, and then I saw them make it, and I was like,
we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, they're squirting like something you would flavor a soda with. You know, like that's just weird. Now, if you brew it with
it tastes different. The syrupy taste is weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I will say that's way better than regular.
Oh yeah, it's way better than that. But the syrup is still just different.
Please like and subscribe if you're still listening. You're probably not, but
hey!
Whoa, hey! Shots fired!
Hey! We had 13 followers, maybe more. I haven't checked.
14 views, you mean, right?
No,
you're talking views or followers, like subscribers.
Subscribers. We had 13.
Hang on, we're checking this live right now.
This is live. 13.
We have 13 subscribers. So we're up what 3?
Yeah, we're up 3. Plus 3. There you go. Subscriber change plus 3.
That's our best week ever, probably. Plus
Maybe.
3.
Yeah, 14 views.
And I did bring the Dak bobblehead to improve your visuals. By the way, so and I'm wearing the Dak shirt. I'm all ready for football season.
This is after about a year and a half ago where he was hoping.
Let's not
Dak. Actually, you were hoping Dak would break his leg. Then what happened last season?
I don't know if I used break his leg.
Oh, I may have a video saying this.
There was parts of me that wished that Dak would get a minor injury that would keep him out. I don't think having your leg hanging with a bone sticking out is a minor injury. I would never wish that on anybody. I don't even know if I'd wish that on Eli Manning. That was a brutal injury.
That was.
And the fact that like we're not even a year later and dude is full participation.
Yeah.
And he's squatting like 500 pounds and stuff. Like, dude is a beast, you know? So I'm excited about this year. I'm also excited for CeeDee Lamb, which I have a jersey now. That was my Father's Day gift. And CeeDee Lamb, I've been watching his camp videos. He is on fire. He's a beast. Football season is coming, baby. We're like
fantasy football season.
We're 2 months away. Not even 2 months away. We're almost like a month away from preseason.
Preseason will start in August, so
yeah, about a month
and a half.
A month and a week.
It's about a month and a half, middle of August, isn't it?
It's like August 9th, I think. Is the
it's pretty close. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Which is Cowboys Steelers.
Oh, did they do that?
The Hall of Fame
game was supposed to be last year.
They're having it this year instead. Hall of Fame game is Cowboys Steelers.
We should go to that.
I had thought about it.
I mean, it's what, like a 5-hour drive?
I don't know how much it cost. I haven't even seen how they buy tickets, to be honest with you, for the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, I'd go. Let's look into that. We're gonna look into that Hall of Fame game. Ladies and gentlemen, deuces. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.